Hey superstars,
Hi guys,
my name is Askar
my name is Adina.
and we are the co-founders at DevX.
Welcome to DevX podcast.
Yep, this is our first podcast and we decided to do this because this year marks the third anniversary for DevX.
We are going to reflect on the foundation of DevX, how it was founded, how we started, and we'll share some of the ups and downs.
And look out for some fuck-ups too. Where do we start?
Let's start from the very beginning. How did you start your IT journey?
The start of the IT journey in 2017. That's when I graduated from the college. I went to Metropolitan Community College in Omaha, Nebraska. I majored in web development, but out of 4 years, I spent maybe 50% on English, about 30% on stuff like psychology, geography, history, and only 20% on programming, right? I think it's something that is common between many of the colleges. I learned Java. I think I had like intro to Java and Java 2. In other class, I remembered I took assembly language. So assembly language is
I actually never heard of it.
you still program, but you program using like bunch of hexacode, so you don't use like real words like in Java, So I graduated with my Java and assembly language knowledge. In Java knowledge, I would say it was pretty rusty and like, so then you follow the system. What is the system that we are all kind of taught from our childhood? Go to school, go to college for 4 years, get your diploma, and then go to find your internship, and then move and started looking for internships. And these internships, I went to about 10 internships and pretty much failed all of them. And I was doing miserably bad. Graduate from college, I just moved to Chicago, and so I was a little bit frustrated, disappointed on my performance. I knew that I knew nothing, so there was no way I could land an internship. So I didn't waste my time and just started driving taxi. Made about $4,000 per month. I used to work, put in 16-hour shifts per day and 7 days a week. People from our community found a school, a boot camp, where you could, study 6 months, 6 days a week, just study something very narrow. I met with the founders, I asked them, hey, do you guarantee that from this batch, at least one person will get a like proper job that you guys are talking about? And they were telling about us like 100K jobs, right? Opportunity that was promised was so big, so I just took the course. How about you?
You're lucky. See, you always knew that you wanted to become a programmer. My journey was totally different. I moved to New York in 2011. I was always in finance in college. I went to City University of New York. Then I started my career in real estate, which was like totally different. It's all about communication with people, sales, right? Understanding the psychology of person's desires, right? Went back home to Kyrgyzstan for 1 year and started working in a company, in a tech company called Namba in Kyrgyzstan, which was like one of the first and biggest companies. That's how I met all these tech people, and I thought like, wow, they look so cool, and I found a program in Full Stack Academy in New York, the bootcamp. Also for 6 months they had a program for girls called Grace Hopper, and the cost of that program was $25,000.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So at that time, I had in real estate, I had my deal that I was supposed to close with the art gallery, and the commission out of this deal was supposed to be 50K. So wow. I was working for it for about 6 months for the deal. I finally found a place for them, placed the gallery. We had a huge gallery opening, everything was fine, but the deal went wrong. And instead of signing and having this contract for 50,000, I had a major cutoff and I just end up with commission of $3,000. I had to give up 1,500 to my broker, and 1,500 would stay with me. I was renting an apartment in Manhattan with like 4 girls, my roommates, and I was paying for my room $1,150 actually. And then I had like change $350, and I remember that I bought a Metro card, and for the rest, instead of saving this money for the food, I was thinking about my mental health and that I need to do something, and I went and bought a membership for hot yoga for a month.
Wow.
For 300. So
For a month?
For a month.
Starve and do yoga, yeah?
Yeah, starve and do yoga. My mom knew all the things, and she called my sister, who lived in Chicago at that time, and she actually started the also tech career herself. She tells me like, okay, just come for a week and we'll see. And yeah, I flew to Chicago, and it's so funny, then I just sublet my room online. I never went back to New York. So I stayed in Chicago, and that's how she got me into her bootcamp. And that's where you also went, right?
Right.
So I started my journey in tech. My motivation was to go out of Chicago as fast as possible. So I was like, okay, I had to finish this bootcamp and just get out from Chicago. The schedule was as follows. We would go to the campus, and let's say from 10 or 11 a.m. we would study the whole day by the groups until 6 p.m. And then 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. we have evening classes. And then 9 p.m. we would still stay and continue studying till like 1 a.m. So once I started understanding, I was solving problems really fast in the first one. So the system was for 6 months. I figured that I can take the classes from my sister and just doing on my own, finished in 4 months, and decided to go to the market. It was the Christmas time, started receiving the calls. It was the recruiters and stuff. After 3-4 days on the market, people stopped calling me. So I thought like, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. Now I know it was just the market nature because it was holidays. So I had my first offer, and after that it was just an offer rain. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once I got 5 offers, I had to decide which company I want to work for. Because I had to choose. I was denying and saying that I have a better offer, and people would give me like more money, you know?
So you're negotiating.
I was negotiating, and I found out and learned that I can negotiate and that I should negotiate. So then it was even harder because all of those companies raised their offer.
What? So you went from $50, right?
$50
per hour contract?
I negotiated to $65.
$65.
$65 per hour.